Hello there, darlings. Welcome to the Clockwork Cabaret. They are old, they are not hip. They are the weird answers that you didn't know you needed or wanted. And now, for a friendly reminder, this show is for adults. That darling DJ duo, Emmett Davenport and Lady Attercop, drink cocktails, have potty mouths, and at least one of them was raised by wolves.
And with the sound of the cuckoo, you know that it is time for the Clockwork Cabaret.
Hooray!
I am Emmett Davenport.
And I am Lady Attercop.
And...
Allegedly.
I'm
just going to say that off the bat, in case I say something else stupid this week.
Oh, you say stupid stuff every week.
Oh, the FBI knows I'm harmless by now. Mostly.
Allegedly. Oh, yes. So, this week I've chosen to do nothing but cover songs because I just really wanted to.
That's just how we are.
Yes.
We love cover. I shamefully still have Spotify. I'm sorry, I know. And they autofill a playlist of stuff that they think you'll like every week, and this week it was all covers. Like every single song was a cover. I was like, I'm not mad at it. Actually, I'm gonna write that one down. Hold on.
Yeah. There's definitely, as our longtime listeners know, we love cover songs, and I have collected many. Many.
This is not our first all covers. Oops, all covers out.
Yes.
Episode.
Yeah, I do it all the time. I play them in the cafe.
Play them on your goth show.
Yeah, play them on my goth show. I do all that because they crack me up. I don't know why.
I like a good cover.
Yeah.
I love an unexpected reimagining of a song. That's always fun.
Yeah, I also really like it when you take a song that normally I wouldn't like. And make it into something that I do enjoy.
Right.
And, like, there's a lot of pop songs that I'm not crazy about. I'm not crazy about them as their original pop song, but put a different spin on it, and all of a sudden I'm like,
put a different kind of guitar in there, and I'm like, well, hello.
Or and you go, oh, the lyrics are catchy. It was just the music itself that I didn't like. Okay.
There are also certain songs that I don't think you can screw up. There are certain songs that a lot of people have covered.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure it's almost impossible to screw them up.
Well, I think that's probably why a lot of them, like the ones you hear, everyone has done a cover of Love Song by The Cure.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah.
Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah.
I know, though I would say that if you don't have a decent range,
it could be hard.
You could probably screw that up pretty well.
Depeche Mode's Enjoy the Silence. There's been a bunch.
Been a
or
lot of
Personal
those.
Jesus too.
Yeah.
Those have both been covered a lot.
Or Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Britney Spears' Toxic.
That has also been covered quite
And it's
often.
pretty hard to screw up. It's a catchy ass song.
Yeah, well, and it's got, if it's got a good beat and it's got
that violin sting is the
yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah, there's always so
very good.
So we're fans. We're fans of it. So
if you don't like covers, skip this episode. Go back and listen to the one where I talk about the Sailor Moon cult. Go listen to that one instead.
Well, and if you're listening to us live on Mad Wasp, we're sorry.
We're not.
We're not. Trust me, I have picked out a whole bunch of various genres of cover songs. So I guarantee there is going to be one that you like. Also, you might go, wait, this is a cover song? Who did it originally?
Always fun.
Yes, because there's a lot of things where
or
I had
embarrassing based on which version you heard first.
Well, I had to do do some looking up of things because
I feel like I don't
well,
know this
because
song.
I have After the Fire's version of Der Kommissar.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, well, this is a cover of Falco. Not realizing that, no. Falco did it second. He's the cover.
He's the
His
cover.
version is the cover. After the Fire did it first. It was they're a 1960s band. It was their song originally. And I went, oh, I have learned something here.
Yeah, I heard Susie and the Banshees sing The Passenger first.
Oh,
so I thought
so
the
you didn't
Iggy
know
Pop
that.
version was the cover.
Oh, yeah.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
Did not think about how every other song on that album is also a cover. Went over my head as a wee laugh.
Oh yeah, well, like that particular Susie and the Banshees album, Through the Looking Glass, is all covers.
It's all covers.
And the only reason why, weirdly, the only reason why I figured that out was because of there is a band, I think it's the band. Yes, there's the Wheels on Fire song, which I believe is the band did it originally, and then there is the little lost little girl or little. It's a Doors song.
Yes,
and those were the two things because those were songs that I had heard growing up as children.
And went wait
as a child
and the Disney song.
Yeah, and the Disney song.
and the Disney song.
Yes, and then I had to go check all of the who did all of these songs originally. I need to go hear them because
Iggy Pop for one.
Because I didn't know.
I can tell you at least one. Iggy Pop for one.
Oh yeah, I actually heard the Iggy Pop too. My mother had
my first exposure.
My mother had a story about Iggy Pop.
Oh,
Iggy Pop concert where they were on it was a round stage that rotated.
It sounds like Iggy Pop.
Yes, and that there was a wardrobe malfunction by one of the guitarist.
Oh.
His pants were unzipped and and the whole audience was trying to get his attention.
Just the audience has completely stopped paying attention to the music. It just wanted to let this gentleman know. Sir,
that there was a wardrobe malfunction, and Iggy Pop just thought they were pointing at him, and so he upped the ante of the writhing Iggy Popness on stage, and until finally the guitarist realized what was going on and fixed his pants, and everyone started clapping, and that's when Iggy Pop realized that it wasn't for him, he was...
You were cheering for my bandmate's cock.
And he was very sad.
Poor Iggy.
But that is the Iggy Pop story that I grew up listening to, so I was aware of.
I was first exposed to Iggy Pop on a children's television show.
The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
The Adventures of Pete and Pete, which we've talked about on this show before. And it took me a minute to, because I kept looking at him when I realized, saw him in videos and photos of him, going, who is that? He looks so familiar. And then I was rewatching and I'm like, holy shit, that's Iggy Pop. The little girl with the continuously broken arm. Her dad is Iggy Pop. Okay. Yep, that about tracks for this show. It's a good show. It's expensive on DVD if you want to get it. Because,
it also had Michael Stipe in it.
Michael Stipe.
And Kate Pearson.
Yes, Debbie Harry was in it.
Yeah.
And a couple of other musical people that are significant but not as famous as those three.
Yeah.
And the Gothic Archies did all the incidental music.
Stephen Merritt did all the music.
So if you listen to this show, you might go, wait, I know that song.
Yeah, we're old. And
we're discussing how old we were today.
And that is
we're old.
We are. Yeah, well, on my goth show, I have discovered that music has come back around and that there's now more bands than I ever before that sound like bands that I grew up listening to. and it's very weird.
Yeah, you were playing me some of those. I was like, ooh, I like this. Oh, God, it's because I'm old.
Yeah,
They sound like bands I liked as a teenager.
Yep. The 30-year, there's a 30-year music cycle.
I've become that, and I don't want to be that person, but it's like, there's occasionally I hear, like, we have a younger receptionist that works in the salon, and there's occasionally I hear some of the stuff that they're talking about, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this. I was having a kids today in their music moment. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Well, I used to have those anyway. I used to have those before.
I did before, but when you're younger, you can just be like, I just don't like the mainstream stuff. I'm just a little too cool for that. And now it's like, oh, no, it's none of it's mainstream that she's playing for me, because she's all like, oh, you like this, and I'm like,
you're like, no thanks.
I appreciate that. I do enjoy finding new music, and I appreciate you sharing your passion with me for bands you like. I do not like this.
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to this.
So an example of me not being necessarily old music, but when I was back in my day, when I was in college. So growing up, my parents listened to Tom Waits. Tom Waits and a lot of the music we play on the show that is older. I grew up listening to. My college roommate was really big into Tom Waits.
That's so odd.
Yeah, well, that's because he was listening to the Black Rider album, and that he was listening to weirder Tom Waits, whereas
even stranger
Tom Waits that I was familiar with was early Tom Waits, which had a more like old timey, blues.
Yeah.
Blues. Rhythm and blues influence and things, and so So
before he used chickens as percussion.
Yeah. So before he became the great Gonzo of music.
That's the best description of Tom Waits. He dresses a little bit like the great Gonzo. Oh, that's very good.
Thank you. But he would play this music for me, and I'd be like, what is this you are listening to? And he'd be, it's Tom Waits. No, it's not. I know what Tom Waits sounds like, and this is not it.
This is not Tom Waits. Oh, it's what Tom Waits became.
This is what it is now. So,
and then that's where your love of weird sounds in music began.
Yes, well, it is.
We love a weird sound. We love a bizarre, bicycle horn in the middle. Absolutely.
My father also listened to Captain Beefheart, and Frank Zappa. So I was already familiar with the weird music.
You were coming by, and honestly, my parents did not expose me to a lot. I've listened to a lot of really classic 1960s rock growing up, which was not cool by the time I got into high school or middle school and didn't know who any of the bands were. Yeah. Poor bullyable little baby Attercop.
Just ruining it for yourself.
She had frizzy red hair and correctional shoes and listened to the Doors before the movie came out, so everybody thought she was lame, and they were right. That's the other reason I'm a little insulted. It's like, don't try to give me cool new music. I've never been cool. It's too late for me to try to start now. I am in my middle ages.
I don't know if I was ever cool.
I was definitely not ever cool.
I just felt like maybe with my musical taste being so varied and expansive that I had to hit on something that was cool.
At some point, I was listening to something mainstream at some point and definitely introduced people to some things, but usually it was like, fuck you, I can't get that They Might Be Giant song out of my head, and now everyone thinks I'm insane.
And that's why we have a radio show.
You're welcome.
To share all of this with you. And speaking of, let's start with some music.
There was a bee, a pretty little bee. I see why you might choose it. I'd rather have a mad wasp, 'cause he plays all the music.
Choose the mad wasp. He plays all the music.
One of our favorites.
I'm proud of that song set.
Of course we are.
It's so weird.
It's like, where do you believe we discussed earlier about all the weird noises?
Yeah, well, I had wanted to end the show with the Crispin Glover song, and then we needed some more songs. And then I couldn't quite figure out, what goes with Crispin Glover?
Nothing.
Not much. But then I remembered that I had those 2 songs, so it worked perfectly.
Beautiful.
And
Crispin Glover, that song is... we used to play it to try to get people out of the venue at the end of a show. Like, when we're tired and it's about time to go home. And it started backfiring on us.
Well, so many moons ago when I DJ'd a goth night, that was one of the... I had a collection of songs that I played as the last song at like 2:33 a.m. when it was like, please leave, please go.
I'm so tired.
It's last call has been was an hour and a half ago.
I still have to drive
I
home.
have to go home. I am tired. I worked a full day before this. Please
You're
please
people.
go.
You're beautiful.
You're beautiful.
I love you.
Go away.
Get the hell out of here.
Yes, and that was one night I chose to pick that song because I went, surely this will be the song that makes everyone leave because it is so inexplicably weird. And I put it on only to have people that I didn't even know were still in the club come downstairs and dance to it.
We have a bad habit of that.
And I was like, what is going on? For one, where did you come from? And 2, why? Yeah, and so I had mentioned this to Lady Attercop.
Yes.
Years later.
When we were still doing the steampunk.
Yes, and you challenged me and said, well, let's play
regularly.
it. Let's try it and see what happens. And sure enough.
I wanted to listen to it.
Yes. And so we put it on, and I don't think anyone left then either.
No, the Muppets also did not work.
Yeah,
The Muppets also caused more people who were like, well, we now know that Crispin Glover and the Muppets won't drive people away.
That will work.
What else can we use?
Yes.
We did show tunes for a little while.
Yeah, I think the one song that seems to work is the Nina Hagen.
Yes.
Let's call the whole thing
call the
off.
whole thing
But that's
off.
because we play it and then we stop.
It's hard. It's hard to people to dance to the silence that comes
Yes.
after that song. And what better way than to end a night than to have Nina Hagen
Yelling at you.
screaming words in English that sound exactly the same.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, Nina.
I love that song.
I
It
do love
makes
that
me-
song. I mean, I love Nina Hagen in
Yes.
general, and that song just delights me.
Yes. Yeah. The potato and then just a louder potato.
You say potato, and I say potato! It's like, Nina, I know maybe the subtleties of the English language are lost on you, but those words were the same.
Also, subtlety is not.
Oh, Nina never met subtlety that she liked. She's met it, but she's looked at it and went, pathetic!
Yes, probably. I love her.
Well, that's why we love her. She's like, I could sing the song beautifully, but I can't make weird faces if I do. I've given her kind of an Yzma vibe.
Yes.
She's got like a German Yzma.
Oh, it's like when actually there is a wonderful movie that she's
Yes.
in, the Seven Zwergs, which is the Seven Dwarfs, where she plays the evil queen.
The evil queen,
The
yes.
evil queen, and she has so many wig changes. And-
it's so great.
And all of so many different shiny latex outfits,
just
or vinyl outfits.
vinyl,
But-
possibly latex. We
I don't know.
We
It's
don't know
very
how she-
shiny. It's just very shiny, and so many wig changes, and it.
And it's her
and it's-
daughter playing Snow White, I believe,
yes,
too, as
who
well.
is put into a Tupperware container instead of the glass coffin. It's a Tupperware container.
Well, I mean, you got to keep her fresh.
they burp it fresh.
They burp it fresh.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
do burp it.
Yes.
I appreciated that detail.
So, yes, if you ever want to watch a very strange Seven Dwarfs movie, I
Yeah.
highly recommend it if you can find it.
Yeah, it's a little CGI heavy,
It is.
but it's Nina Hagen. She makes up for it. Nina Hagen is not the strangest visual thing happening
no.
on screen.
No.
And it's wonderful.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it.
It's like, Not too long ago, we played one time the SpongeBob SquarePants song in
Oh,
German.
in German, yes. It was ages ago. And it's one of...
Easter egg. Go back and listen to our back catalog. Somewhere in there.
It sounded like a fight. It's so violent sounding, and I kept thinking is, this is a kids show.
Well,
this is a theme song for a kids show. And it sounds angry.
Kids are angry. They're mad. They're mad about not having any power in the world, and that's why they like violent and scary stuff. We were actually talking today about that. That sounds like a Goosebumps. I think that was a plot to a Goosebumps novel. It's terrifying. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which has some of the most terrifying illustrations ever put onto paper. It's like Francis Bacon illustrated a children's book. Francis Bacon and Giger's little weird son. It's like, I could draw for the children's. I don't know what that accent is, but he's got it.
It's creepy.
Let me draw for the children's.
That seems nice.
They like horror. Nina Hagen pops up. They love the horror! Listeners, I had a long night last night, and I drank a lot of caffeine, so this is what happens when we do the show early.
Yes. And with that...
what happens.
Yes. And with that... This has been the Clockwork Cabaret. She is Lady Attercop.
I am, and they are Emmett Davenport.
That I've heard that rumor
about that. I've heard that rumor about them.
And just remember, it's not work we do; it's love.
This is Mad Wasp Radio, home of the hits.